It's now thought that more than 100 families here lost at least £70,000 each when a property company in England collapsed.
Today they brought their case to Stormont. Our business correspondent Kevin McGee reports.
It was an offer some people just couldn't refuse, the promise of a life of luxury on the Costa del Sol. This is what they thought they were buying off plan, a new apartment in a 5-star country club development. But of the 400 who booked properties, all, like Mervyn McKay, the commercial manager of Larne Football Club, have lost their deposits.
Even when things were sounding a wee bit bad, we're making extensions to this, we're going to make it bigger, so they were always feeding us in, leading us in. So at the end of the day we got a lot of promises but we didn't get anything.
So how much did you lose?
Well, in total it was an £80,000 deposit.
The development was supposed to be part of a building boom in the resort of Estepona. The deposits were paid to a company called Ocean View Properties International in Staffordshire, but when it went into liquidation 2 years ago, there was no money in any of its bank accounts, and there was never any development in Spain.
There's no planning permission, there's nothing built, and there's no prospect of anything being built. But what we do know also is that the monies have disappeared. So you tell me, what is that exactly? It's a situation which merits being investigated thoroughly.
Mother of two, Pat Rennicks from Lambeg, had planned to live 6 months of the year in the apartment she thought she'd booked. Instead, she's lost £70,000.
I have never been a gambler. I have never, ever taken chances with large sums of money, ever. And I now sit back and think, why? Why did I trust this group of people?
Hello. Tom Elliott.
A pressure group formed by those affected and a Spanish lawyer they've hired brought their plight to Stormont today and met with members of the OFM-DFM committee. And the full extent of just how much some people lost became clear.
The approximate range are from about £50,000 to £1 million. In actual fact, two people have invested around £1 million each. There's about 110 people have been affected by this, and there's actually a few people, maybe about 20 people, who have invested in more than one property, maybe 2 to 3 properties in the two developments.
The committee agreed to write to the office of the First and Deputy First Minister, suggesting that it should give political backing to the investors in their legal claim to try and get their money back. Altogether, it's thought that up to £8 million was paid by people from here into this property scheme, and now the money has gone. It's not the first case of its kind, but it's a clear reminder of the pitfalls and risks associated with buying property abroad. Kevin McGee, BBC Newsline, Belfast. Jimmy, just tell us a little bit about your involvement with Ocean View Properties. How much money did you invest and why didn't you continue with the investment?
Well, what happened was a local agent I was in contact with. It looked a very attractive investment. My investment was in Morocco. We looked at it, we got very colourful brochures, and we decided, yes, it would be a nice place, particularly in retirement, to have. And what we were asked for was £1,000. So the information then came from Ocean View, and the information from Ocean View, in my view, I wasn't getting. The amount of information that I thought I might have been getting. And then they started to look for more money. And I developed a very sick sense that there's something just not quite right here. And I advised other close family relatives not to put any money into it, not to go any further. And boy, am I glad today that I didn't go any further. But I feel sorry. I've been dealing with constituents who have been heavily stung in the whole thing, and I feel very sorry for them. And I certainly would have advised anybody else that I knew, but nobody had come to me. I wasn't actively involved in politics at that time, or I would have advised anybody who came to me, look, don't get involved any further because there's something wrong here. I couldn't explain what it was that was wrong, but there was just something that sent an alarm bell ringing in my head.
And it seems that quite a few people have been affected by this.
Yeah, there's many people in this province, and I think there's many politicians here at Stormont who are dealing with individual people. I'm dealing with individual people who have been involved. I know that our member of the European Parliament, Diane Dodds, has been involved as well and raised questions in terms of the European Parliament in relation to the issue. So yes, there are quite a number of investors in Northern Ireland. I don't know the exact number because different people are dealing with different individuals. But certainly people, decent people who had invested something and expected to get some return have now been left without their money.
And large sums of money involved. I mean, the most common deposit that people paid was between £70,000 and £80,000.
Yes, indeed. I understand that is the amount that some people paid. I was just so fortunate that I don't know how we got in at £1,000, but that was all that we had been initially asked for. I wasn't happy initially to pay anything else. I can't remember whether they asked for more, but it was only £1,000 in my terms, and my close family relatives was only £1,000 as well.
Is there anything that the executive can do to help these people who've lost their money?
Well, I don't know what the situation is. Obviously there were local firms or local agents involved. I don't know what responsibility they have, but I think they should bear some responsibility as well, because they did sell this to local people, and I think they also should have some responsibility. Surely to goodness they do have some responsibility in selling something that turned out to be certainly a very bad investment.
And from a personal point of view, you had a narrow escape.
Very narrow escape. I feel very lucky, but I feel very sad for the individuals. Some of them very good friends of mine that I know personally, that I've been dealing with from a professional point of view in what I'm doing now. And I feel very sad for those folks because it's been a hard-earned investment that they have put into this, and I just hope and pray that they get something back.